Hello everyone, my name is John Barnes. I'm the Director of Digital Strategy and Transformation for Perspecta, and today we're going to be talking about the transformation roadmap and aligning outcomes from strategy through execution. So the transformation roadmap capability started a little bit over 8 years ago or so, and to this point we've delivered probably 70, maybe 80 transformation roadmaps during that time. Ranging anywhere from state and local agencies, all the way up through the intelligence community. On the left side of the slide there, you see, where we focused on very specific mission programs for those organizations to help with their transformation. And on the right side, you can see some of the customers that we've helped out with more broader enterprise IT transformation that benefit not just one program, but the agency or organization as a whole. So what is the transformation roadmap? Well, we consider this a framework for a new experience. You can see in this wireframe that's here on the screen that, on the top left, who's the customer, who they are, what on the top right, what do they do? On the left side, where is their current maturity level? How fast can they deploy things? Are they agile enough? Is security baked in, up front, right? We look at certain capabilities and objectively, measure them as a good starting point for where they're trying to get to. And then on the far right side, right? What does those same measures look like after the end of a successful transformation, right? We're trying to set the goalposts there, right? Where are we trying to get to? Moving down a level on the current state, right? This describes your current environment. You can see there we have multiple tabs where we can look at this through a couple different lenses, right? It could be in terms of your environment as infrastructure, hardware, software. It could be around, people. It could be around processes. Every customer is unique in areas that they would like to focus on, but we can really zero in on anywhere from 3 to 5 of those tabs really to help kind of get that view together. In the middle there, right above the blue bridge, is what we call our forecast options, or our key performance indicators, right? This is what the measures of success look like from the customer's perspective. I need to hit a year-over-year financial run rate of X, or hey, we're moving into consumption-based services of some type, whether it be cloud, SaaS, you name it, right? And maybe my monthly run rate needs to be X dollars, or it could be something more performance-based in terms of your systems. I need to be able to have an availability of 3, 4, 5 nines, whatever that might be, all the way through to something that, hey, when we come up with an idea that we want to put in production, it should only take us X number of days, weeks, months, et cetera, right, to go from that idea to deploying it into production, right? So those are the things that are measurable, right, that are going to help you know if you're moving the needle and getting towards that target that you're trying to get to. On the right side is your future state, right? That is, kind of after the transformation, right? That is the vision of what you want those tabs on the left to look like when you've successfully completed your transformation. And then on the bottom is what we call, a colleague of mine calls our yellow brick road, right? This is your timeline of outcomes, right? In terms of projects and activities that you need to do in a certain order that are going to be delivering the maximum amount of value that is going to help you move that needle and hit that target and make sure that you have a successful transformation, at the end of that program. So here's one that's kind of been stubbed out a little bit. This is something that we did kind of internally, just to give an idea of what a completed roadmap might look like. So up top, right, establish goals, objectives, and who those stakeholders are, right? Who's impacted, who's responsible for executing the change, right? We bring all the stakeholders together. They might have competing priorities and goals, right? We want to bring them in to make sure they're aligned so that everybody's really moving in the same direction, and the left hand knows kind of what the right hand's doing, right, and why. A little bit earlier on the last slide, we talked about forecast options and KPIs, right? So here's an example of what some of those look like. And you can see in there that we can have different tabs in there for specific categories of KPIs. Like I said, they could be financial, they could be performance based, they could be process efficiencies, things like that. We can document a couple different things, and again, they are unique to every customer and to every engagement, depending on where they're trying to go and what they're really trying to accomplish. Then we have those maturity levels and what we call maturity progression rate. On the top left there is where you're starting from, and that is measured, quantified, and documented. So you have a good beginning point of your transformation. It's hard to get to an end state if you don't know where you started from. The current state, number 4. Right, you can see that we've got those different tabs there. In the terms of this one, this is around acquisition process, maybe trying to bring new capabilities into your organization faster. How can we do that? What investments do you need to make? How is my workforce going to adapt to the changes of these new things, right? Think organizational change management. You might have to upskill employees, terms of governance, and then your environment. And then on the right side, that future state, right? This is, depending on how you look at it, is a simplified view of that process, right? Maybe on the left, it was you're in a waterfall environment. On the right, now in the future state, you want to be more agile, right? Whether you subscribe to something like Scrum, Kanban, SAFe, whatever it is, right? In terms of that, right? We want to build out what that future state looks like. And then on the bottom, right, that's your yellow brick road, right? We call those boxes waypoints, the same way you would on a map if you're plotting a course, right? Each one of those will deliver a certain capability when you decompose that waypoint into its series of projects and activities. Now, what you don't see on the map is that we collect a lot of information, we read a lot of information, we talk to a lot of people in the organization to make sure that we really understand what the organization is trying to accomplish, right? We do this through a series of interviews, we read open source information. Maybe an executive at your agency or organization has presented what their strategic goals are at a conference like this, right? We all know different organizations in the government, publish their strategic intent, and kind of put that out there to the organization. And in some cases, it's publicly available on their websites. So we go find as much information as we can. So by the time we walk in the door, we already have a solid footing of what we think they're trying to get to, or at least a starting point for us to have those discussions to talk to them. We don't want to waste anybody's time when we get in there, so we want to make sure that we're as prepared as we could be. We do interviews with various different customers up and down the organization. We take into account our experience, and best practices. We've got a lot of lessons learned. Our team and our organization, have been doing enterprise IT and mission IT for over 50 years. So we've learned a lot over that. We document that after every project, and we bring that to bear as well. So we're not making things up as we go along. And we also leverage some of the industry analysts out there too, in terms of what they're seeing and recommendations that they would make, as needed. So this is a bigger version of what I just showed you. I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to leave this up here for a little bit. If you're so inclined, take the time to kind of look through it and see, how things are kind of linked together on there. Everything on this roadmap is there for a specific reason. Nothing gets up there by chance, right? We call it, there's a traceability triangle, right? Things that go from the strategy all the way down to execution, right, are all linked together. And then we have supporting documentation that we deliver along with this in terms of companion files that really decompose those waypoints down on the bottom into various sets of projects and activities, and other collateral to help jumpstart those transformations for organizations, that want to do that. I want to thank you for your time today. Again, my name is John Barnes with Perspecta, and we hope to hear from you guys soon, and maybe we can help out with your transformations. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.